their transfer ban, originally supposed to last for 2 transfer windows, has in fact been reduced to just 1, which they've already served in the winter. Thus, they are now able to make some signings in January. I guess the question is, should they, given what Frank Lampard has done with the team so far?
I think the simple answer is they only should sign if it is absolutely right for them. If it's good business for the club and it's what Frank wants and it's going to take them forward, then I think yes. I don't think I've never felt that January is the greatest time. I think most people don't, unless there's a little golden nugget comes along and pops up and you're able to get a player. But I don't see. I mean, there's a couple of positions. I mean, if Giroud wants to leave, or they think about getting rid of Giroud because he wants to play at the Euros and he's not getting much game time at Chelsea, they might be able to do something there with getting him out and maybe getting somebody in as a backup for Abraham, who's done particularly well. I mean, he's superseded expectations. Left back might be an area. I don't think he fancies, what's his name? Not Emerson, the other boy.
Oh, yeah. Not Azpilicueta either.
No,
he's big centrally, isn't he?
Alonso.
Oh, Marcus Alonso.
I couldn't remember. I was talking about him earlier. I don't think he fancies him. So there's a couple of areas, Jorginho's done particularly well for him. He's played really well. Kante's had a bit of a trouble season chasing his tail with injury. Kovacic has done okay for him. He's got wide boys in Pulisic and Hudson-Odoi and 1 or 2 others. So I don't see it as desperate, to be honest with you, unless it's the right player.
A couple of areas of need, maybe, you've identified. Gab, what's your sense? Does this change the strategy? Are they now going to go out and spend big in January?
Well, I think, first of all, they kind of expected it to happen. They weren't expecting 2 windows, but, they sort of knew this was happening. I think they're preparing for it. I think it might be an adjustment to players perhaps moving on. Giroud, as Craig mentioned, is an obvious one just to get him minutes ahead of the Euros. I think there might be a bit of an issue where they might perhaps have too many options in certain positions. I mean, you mentioned, wide players there. There is a lot of talent and only so many positions to go around. If you look at, Pulisic, Willian, Pedro, Hudson-Odoi, Mason Mount, of course, can also play in that position. If they go and play 4-3-3 and you play Kanté, Jorginho, and Kovacic in midfield, you only have 2 slots. You got to put Mount somewhere. So I wonder if maybe some of those veteran players, possibly Pedro, might move on. I think they're increasingly maybe facing a decision with Azpilicueta as well, in the sense, not so much of moving him on, but the way Reece James has been playing, very different alternative, very different player to Azpilicueta. So they have to figure things out. They have to figure out if Rudiger is going to be fully fit and that's somebody that they can count on, because even though he likes Kurt Zouma, I think Rudiger is on a different level to all the other center backs they have. So he's got some figuring to do. It's certainly an extra comfort blanket to know that you can bring somebody in. But I think, again, most likely at center forward, simply because Tammy Abraham's played a ton of minutes and you've got a Giroud issue and I think also a Batshuayi issue.
Yeah. In that position, Gab, if they're going to make a change up front or bring in an addition up front, any names you can throw out there who might be associated with Chelsea?
Frankly, I think it's early. I think the club's intention is not to deviate from the original plan, which is that this is supposed to be a transition season where you find out which one of these youngsters can play, how well they can play. They've obviously well ahead of the curve. They're not looking to necessarily upgrade to go and challenge for the title this season because Liverpool's so far ahead. So I think they might keep their powder dry for the summer. And I think it's going to be more about sort of figuring out minutes and allocations. Remember, Ruben Loftus-Cheek is another big name player who will be coming back from injury soon as well. So it's just a lot of choices for him to make, a lot to sort through. And if somebody comes in, I think it's going to be because players have gone out.
It's a delicate balance, though, isn't it, Craig? He doesn't want to upset what he's already
because
built.
they want to get in the top 4 for obvious reasons. And I think they're probably ahead of the curve from where they thought they would be. However, with potentially Man United picking some head of steam up, or Tottenham under Jose Mourinho, we don't think Arsenal are going to do it the way they're going. They are going to come under some pressure. However, I think what Frank Lampard has done so far at Chelsea might just, well, I think it will have persuaded the board that they really don't have to panic into anything. And that if they do any business in January, it's common sense. And if it is going forward for them, I think it's a younger player. And I think, as Gab said, they're looking to transition from some of these older guys that they've had within the squad, gradually get them out, bring a younger guy in and build from there. And I think they'll be quite pleased with what Frank Lampard's doing with those younger guys. And so they'll probably sit tight unless they get somebody that comes along that they can't resist.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.